Okay, let's go. So what has happened from last week? So last Sunday we were expecting either a pullback or a breakout towards the upside after we did sweep our sort of local sell side liquidity. So we had our lows that we created a small range on Bitcoin. So the week before we had a structure shift in the market from this lower time frame downtrend to a breakout. So we made our like consolidated all week, all yeah, for like a week, and we did sweep first our local highs, and then we came back and swept our local sell side. I was looking for like optimized long positions in that 4-hour inverse fair value gap. We did never end up getting it, so that's something I missed on, but I did catch some of it with the altcoins. And then if we look, we did get really strong breakouts. Momentum was just insane. We came back, swept our highs from September. Those were monthly highs. So we came up, swept them, pulled back just slightly for like a few hours. Yeah, that's like a day. No real pullback. So no like no chance to get into any longs unless you were like super aggressive with it. So this is like a really bullish thing when our momentum is so strong that we are not giving any opportunities for people to enter the market. That's what we want to see, because if we do look back, all of our sort of momentum shifts have been really quick. Already back here, we had a pullback right there, but that's just something smaller. As well as if we do look back all the way, we did have, so we basically just consolidate sideways, and then we just have these really big moves without basically any pullbacks at all. Just really minor ones. So that's really bullish for our from our momentum side. So we are consolidating a bit right now over the weekend. Made this small range. Does look like it could be like a potential sort of cup and handle, but nothing I'm watching currently. Then if we do zoom out on the 4-hour, looking at where we are at, we do have all of these trend lines that people use from these highs. So we have two sort of different lines that we could use here. This would be the first one, and that would be like we have already broken out. We came back, retested it. And then we have the second one, which is from the high to this week right here. And then we are basically consolidating after breakout, coming back, testing that first breakout. And right now we are moving towards the upside again. So we are also in this 4-hour fair value gap right here, as well as we do have a smaller 4-hour fair value gap below us, a bullish one. So right now we're just getting squeezed between these guys. The fact that we didn't break down here, it's really bullish, at least for the weekend. Because if we would have gotten the breakdown here, then you would have started looking at, so we made these, I'm gonna zoom in a bit. So we had this crazy wick right here. That's something I would like to see come back and get filled or corrected. Make a nice low, because those are some ugly lows. As long as we stay above these lows at 62.3, I think we continue towards the upside. Right now we have no breakdown, so there's no shorts at all. Because if we were to look at the lower time frames, this looks like we could have like a potential correction right here, ABC, with an impulse wave towards the upside now. And then I would look for a small pullback here before we actually break out of this small range that we created over the weekend. Then if we do get a correction from there, let's see. Nothing really we can predict. Because right now we are also at our volume node of this large range that we have created. So this is value area high that we're currently below. Anytime we have kind of broken out below, above it, we had these explosive moves. Also here we broke below it, we had an explosive retest and then just break down towards the downside. So you basically do want a impulse move towards the upside and close above them. So that's something to look for. And then we do obviously have these sort of equal highs at 72k, as well as our previous high at 70k. But if we do get a breakout, sweep these 70k, I would be looking for continuation to at least 72k, and that's where I would think markets start slowing down again, around these highs. That's sort of your big supply zone. Large sell have been coming in around these prices, so that's between 72 and 73k. As of right now, not looking like we're getting any bigger pullbacks, at least. Something that can change over the weekend. But as long as our structure doesn't change, so hourly we're still just making these higher lows. But if we do get a small change of structure in the hourly, I would look to short again. Possibly to these lows. So that's it. So these are for our 4-hour lows that are like more so important. I will be looking at those. Do not want to see these broken. Just stay above that and we should be continuing towards the upside again, even if we do get that large pullback like that. And I will start looking for shorts as well if we do reach this 72, 73 stage. Looking for 15-minute to hourly market structure breaks. Just something like this. Make our low here. Like a fair value gap here and look to short towards the downside, or a retest at least of this 68, 69k. And if we continue from there, would be also great. For our spot bags, of course. So that's just really what I'm looking for next week on Bitcoin. Our lower time frames are bullish still. Looking like we're getting these impulsive waves towards the upside. So this wave 5 can push up to 69.4 probably, between the 69.2 and 69.4. I do believe we do have a CME gap as well, but that's around like a small one, between like 67, 68k. And we do like to come and fill those. So looking at Solana, I'm gonna look at the 4-hour. Just consistent throughout this entire thing. So we have a lot of highs here that we could possibly take out. Those are the ones I would be looking for, at least right now. Keep making these higher lows across the wave, as well as we did have this breakout right here, and we did come back into this fair value gap on the 4-hour before actually just keep going towards the upside. Also just looking really bullish on every time frame right now. We did invalidate. I did have a bearish fair value gap on this, Gonna see if I can find it. Okay, yeah, so we did have this bearish fair value gap, which is we came up to it, swept those equal highs, started pulling back. We did only pull back to this sort of mid-range, which is still a solid like 7% drop, before just tapping it and showing like extreme strength. We do have this sort of triangle formation as well that looks like we did break out of. Broke out, retested over the weekend, and now pushing towards the upside again. So that's just real bullish. What are some levels to watch? Let's see. So we have some smaller daily fair value gaps right here. That's your previous low. So you're probably looking at this range for sort of a reaction. If you do get a bearish reaction, you could get a pullback, test this breakout again before we start continue towards upside again. I do have some set targets on Solana at 220. There are some harmonics targets there. So I would love for us to just keep it going for the coming weeks. 2 or 3 weeks and just explode. Possibly take these yearly highs out. If we were to break down, I would just be looking at the retest for on this trend line. First, this mid-range. And then if this mid-range doesn't hold, of course, then we can go down. Or if we fake out below the trend line and then start going up again. But that would be like the 140 range. But hard to short. The momentum is extremely bullish. So never gonna be easy to short in these conditions. What more do we have? We have AVAX. We had a bearish harmonic on AVAX. We had a good push towards the upside last week. 18%. Hit our harmonic targets. And pulled back like 10%. This is from Monday to through Friday, basically, the entire week. And now slowly consolidating over the weekend. We'll see if we can squeeze this up towards the upside, or if we end up breaking down, and then we're looking at the retest of the trend line again for potential move up. Near still moving sideways from last week. Didn't really do anything. Came back, tested at like the 786. Didn't quite reach it. Possible head and shoulders. No breakdown at the lows yet. So that's something to look for. See if we do respect and if they're bullish market structure. Basically want to see us hold above these. These lows. This was like the support and resistance flip that we did make over the weekend. And if we do get that, we could push towards the upside. And then obviously you have your B point here first that I would be targeting. 5.3. Either a reaction there or a support and resistance flip, and then we continue towards the upside with my end target at 5.9, which is where I would like to short it for a slightly larger pullback, possibly into the 0.5, which would be around 5.1. Then we did catch this beauty long yesterday, no, not yesterday, last week, for ARB. We just yeah, I mean, it's going according to plan. So we had our take profits at this B point first one. Came back over the weekend. Slightly had a really good reaction, sort of an inverse head and shoulders around here, and then just exploded towards the upside today. Really good impulsive move. Maybe see some or sideways here before actually continuing towards the take profits. So I have the 786 and 886 as my targets. So anywhere in this is where I'm looking to scale out most. I can leave a runner, of course. If we do get a breakout towards the upside, then I have targets even as high as 109. So that would be like a large move. What more do we have? We did look at NJ last week as well. Came up to our harmonic target, just spiked up though, so we could just consolidate here and keep going up until we actually hit this again. Not sure what this week was, or if it's only on Bybit, might be. But that's where I would suspect we get a pullback as well. So that's maybe if Bitcoin pushes up to like 73, 70k, between that range. I have a link chart as well. We did break up towards the upside, just making these consistent higher lows. All charts are kind of looking similar. Alts are still looking extremely bullish. Might be possible shorts soon, but not yet. Gotta stay patient for that. What more do we have? Say just consolidating. Dogecoin, that we were looking at this last week as well. We had this shift in the market right here, from going from a downtrend to an uptrend again, making higher lows. Breakout, we came back, retested, and we had an explosive move towards upside. It's at 54%. Just like the last week, we had 37% move towards upside. So that's really big. What more do we have? We have totals. Totals just moving solid towards the highs again. Same thing here, just looking at these highs. Bigger supply zone is the similar as Bitcoin chart. That would still be a push towards the upside with a 13% move. Or if we would have come back, I would look at this demand zone at 2.1, which is solid pullback, still like 7 to 8%. USDT dominance, we do have a bullish harmonic. We actually have two of them into this 3-day fair value gap. But we also, if we do zoom out on the macro scale, we do have a bearish flag. So this can get invalidated quite quickly. So a proper breakdown below this would mean that crypto is most likely gonna go even higher, most likely higher than all-time highs. And yeah, and USDT would keep on dropping. Because we did have this big break on the daily towards the downside. Now just consolidating towards the upside slightly, a bear flag, and then just tested this trend line 3 times, and this is the 4th time. Already below it. We'll see if we do get a retest of the 0.618. Something worth watching at least. I'm gonna go through some of the requests we did have last week as well. We had Blast. Moving sideways, has been moving for the entire week basically. Or last 18 days. No breakout yet. If you look in the daily time frame, we did make this week towards the downside, but if we look at these, we're still making lower lows, lower highs. So we were waiting for a proper breakout with a higher high, at least on the lower time frames. Have not gotten it yet, but something worth watching. This one was big. LRC, someone asked for it last week as well. We were in this 12-hour fair value gap, and we absolutely respected it. Solid push with 12% towards the upside. This is something I will be keeping an eye on. So if we do get a breakout below this 0.14 range, looking for the retest and then continue towards 0.2 or 0.46 would be your higher time frame target. So a really good move would be a 230% move. I'm gonna go through some of the requests here. APU had an explosive move, so we just broke out. Had a very small retest, not much. Isn't too much to talk about here. We did not create all-time highs yet, but we are really close. Keeping an eye on these lows right here, break below them. Looking at the test of the trend line again. And then we most likely coming back to test all-time highs again. Or if we do get a short squeeze, then we would just keep going from here. But yeah. Then we have MOG. MOG is also kind of breaking out this really nice range. Still has quite a bit higher to go. Got this small breakout of this sort of, I'm guessing that's the value area high. Oh, I can't even change that. Oh no, that's quite a bit lower. But yeah, we did break above this value area high. So you're looking at the retest of the highs again here. Not too much to talk about. Breakout here would be price discovery. MOG is definitely a coin you want to hold. One of the stronger meme coins across the board. Extreme bounce from the bottom. Popcat is the similar one, but for Solana instead of ETH. It's price discovery. Daily breakouts. Oh. These are your lows to watch. If you come back here, look for potential longs. Break down below these. Look for a retest into this sort of 0.65. If we do, this is where I would like to start adding for more of a long-term position again. If you're holding, that's just great. Had a slightly internal sweep there. Would be looking at this as your local sell side. Yeah, and that would be the retest that for potential longs again. Bitcoin has been one of the best performing coins this week. That's with Bitcoin dominance increasing as well. So we were talking about this last week as well. We were around this mid-range between the 0.5 and 0.618 on the weekly time frame. So we did break out. That's why we got a more aggressive move from Bitcoin than most altcoins. Money is still flowing into Bitcoin instead of the major altcoins, Solana or anything else. We did get a slight pullback here over the weekend. So alts did catch up a bit, as well as meme coins. Small bounce for them. But I suspect this will just keep going for a bit. Or if we do break out below this point, this between the like 0.5 mark, between the 0.55 and 0.618, that would be something worth watching as well. This is where I would like to see a big reaction and money start flowing into alts, memes, smaller caps, and so on. If not, then we would have to look between the 786 and 886. which is pretty high for Bitcoin dominance. Then we did have a smaller coin. Let's see. 30 million market cap. Oh wow, this is exploded. Looks some type of AI coin here as well. Just the basic trend line. Gonna throw some fibs on this. I am gonna use this wick. Even though this most likely was some bots basically just fighting each other. We are, I would call this price discovery, even if this wick is here. And I'm guessing people will look to scale out around these highs as well at the 50. That's a mental level as well, 50 million. If we were to look for pullbacks, just looking at our local levels, I'm gonna take this from fibs between these recent moves. Anything below the 618 to the 886, that's between 20 and 10 million would be like a DCA zone for a potential swing trade. Invalidation would be below these lows right here at 7 million. So that would be, depending on your entry, that would be like a 50% loss. Volume is really good, but I'm guessing this is, yeah, this is quite recent as well. Launched 2 days ago with some spikes in the volume. I've fumbled a lot of bags when it comes to meme coins, so just don't get attached to your bags and you should be good to go. Oh yeah, I did have this liquidation map as well for Bitcoin. I'm gonna start by looking at the last 24 hours. It's basically weekend price action moving sideways. We have some liquidation pockets above as well as below, so it's pretty similar on both sides. I'm zooming out to the 1 week. Yeah, so here you can see on towards upside is slightly more, so shorters have been a lot aggressive, at least for the last 3 days, or that's even today. Just over the weekend, shorters have been trying to catch this move towards the downside. So that's what I would be guessing. Like even if you do get a small sweep of the 68, I would suspect we do sweep these 69, 69.6 before we actually do start pulling back a bit. I've looked at the order books as well, and we do have a bunch of large orders towards the upside. Just impulsive on Monday, that's very possible. Looking at the monthly, so this is slightly correlation between the TA as well as some liquidation levels. Larger ones you'll be looking at, one is at 61.7. That was our consolidation that we did before our big impulsive towards upside, and now it's the weekend level that we did create, and that would be 67.5 ish, around that price. Do look back a bit. 67.5, yeah, that would be just below these lows right here. Because that's also a liquidity pocket to look for. I think we are pretty much done there. We can look at the USD, which is starting to pull back. Hit a higher time frame resistance level. Swept this sort of local high. I'm just looking for this to start pulling back again. If we break down below this, would be great for crypto. But yeah, I'm expecting a pullback on the USD. So that's bullish for crypto as well. Yeah, I think that's about it. If there's no more requests, I will end it.